How are we doing here? Has it started yet? Okay, looks like bearings is the one that we're going to be doing today. Hello to you everybody that's actually made it today. So we're going to get straight into this question. And I know I kind of mentioned that we're going to be covering off a little bit of Pythagoras and trig. The beautiful thing about bearings is that it actually covers pretty much all of those basic Pythagoras and trig as well. Now, some people have asked me, can I just do bearings and pass this paper? It is to a degree possible, because if you actually get the bearings question, it just usually tends to be an excellence question. You actually end up getting, I think, 8 points, and for achieved you only need 8 points. So if you do the bearings question fully correct and then do another question correct, it is actually possible to pass this entire paper. Now, thank you for joining me today, guys. I'm just gonna just got a small little survey that I've been kind of collecting from my the people that have been kind of popping into this channel and using it. Now, if you've already done this survey, it's been put on Instagram and on YouTube. If you've already completed it, don't worry about it. It's literally 2 ticks. It just asks what year level you're in and what ethnicity you belong or you feel you identify to. So if you could maybe just answer that question, I'd really appreciate it. But apart from that, I'll give you guys maybe about literally 20 seconds to do that, and then we're gonna try and do this question here. So what we'll do today is we're going to cover pretty much everything that there is to do with bearings. This question I've picked up is actually from last year. Now, what's a survey for? It's just as I was talking in yesterday's stream, I'm just kind of trying to get a gauge of where people are coming from, and I found out that basically my statistics says that there's only 4 or 5 major cities that actually use my channel here. So I'm just kind of curious for step 1, and step 2 is just to kind of see where, because obviously I can't pick up the ethnicity data from YouTube itself, so it's just something that I'm kind of curious on. But if you feel like you don't want to answer, that's fine too, so it's nothing major. Anyway, look, that's not the point of what we're here for. We're here to actually get through this work. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is, do I need to do a quick revision of Sokotoa, or I think you guys are all good and we can just jump straight into bearings? What do we want to do? Because I'm keen either way. Yeah, let's go. That sounds perfect. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about bearings is you're always starting from north. All right, so this is I might actually walk you guys through this question so that you guys understand it, and then after that I'll get you guys to do a question by yourself. All right, so whenever they say bearings, you always start from north side. All right, so that's just something that you need to kind of be aware of. North is always written as 0, 0, 0. Now, if you have a bearing of 90 degrees, basically that means from north, you're actually going 90 degrees. That's what it actually means. And then if you have a bearing of, 200 degrees, then bearing of 200 is written like this, 200. Then from north, you're actually going around like this, which is going to be 200 degrees. Now that's like the basic concept of bearings, right? So when you have, you always go clockwise, and you always start at the north. If you forget it, think about it like a clock, where at 12 o'clock midnight, you're starting right at the top there. All right, so that's kind of the idea. Now, they've given you some information here. You've got 3 ships, K, L, and M. They're going on a flat surface, so that's all good. Now it says the bearing of L from K is 126. Now this is where people get confused. So if you look at this statement here, and I'm going to kind of show you guys how this statement plays out, right? So if you have bearing of L from K is 126 degrees. Now that basically means if K is there and L is here, this is equal to 126. However, if it says bearing of K from L, then that means, and let's just say hypothetically K is here and L is here, then that means the bearing is going to be more than 270 degrees because it's actually going all the way around. So when they're saying bearing of something is from something else, that from part is your starting point. So in this case it says from L, so that means the bearing is actually from L. If it says from K, then the bearing is actually starting from there. So hopefully that just kind of gives you guys an idea of the language. Let me know if you're having any issues with that particular language. But that's pretty much what the starting part of this question is, right? The next thing is they're actually asking you to find the distance and bearing of M from L. So basically they're asking for this distance here, and they're also asking for bearing of M from L, which means they're actually asking for this angle here. So let me know if you have any questions so far. And if you're good, then we can go to the next part. Oh, come on, Watson. I'm assuming we're good here because we're super quiet in the chat. Give me a second. Yeah, Durian, I don't know where he's at. Okay, cool. So once you guys are good with that, right? Now, the whole point of bearings, it's just, the way I explain it is it's literally a set of 3 triangles. And as long as you can understand that, you are very much, it's so easy to actually, to kind of solve it, all right? So you now need to figure out this D, right? And the best way to do this is to create 3, like a big rectangle, and 3 little triangles within it. So let me show you what I mean by. I'm going to take this diagram here, and right now I have this. So there, and then I've got one that looks like this. So this is my K, this is M, this is L. We already know all of this part, right? All good, no issues there. Now the next part we know is we've got a little angle here that is 126. We've got this angle which happens to be 111. We've got 9.8 here and 4.4 here. So what I mean by creating a big rectangle is create like literally a big rectangle that looks like this here. So what we've done is we've created this big rectangle, and within that rectangle we've actually got 3 right angle triangles. Alright, so we've got 3 right angle triangles within this big rectangle. And what we're going to do is for each of those, like we need to figure out this distance here, this highlighted distance. We also need to figure out what this angle here is, because we know for the bearing we're going to go from north, which means we're going all the way around like that. We already know the part up to here because that's 270 degrees. So the bearing is going to be 270 degrees plus whatever the question mark is. So that's just something to keep in mind. So we've got to figure out that yellow line, and we've got to figure out the question mark as well. Now, to figure out this yellow line, I'm going to kind of slowly start breaking this down so you guys can kind of see it. There's going to be three triangles, right? Now let's say you're unsure. You're like, I don't know how to do this, right? I don't know what he's trying to do. My suggestion is, if you can find all the edges. So I'm actually talking about, I'm going to draw these three triangles separately so you can have a look. So first triangle looks like this. So this is where you've got M and K. This is 4.4. Then our second triangle looks like this, which is K and L, where this is equal to 9.8. Nice, Daniel. Yeah, you can do that, but unfortunately that rule is not given to you during what do you call it, you know, at level 1 geometry, which kind of sucks. But if you know how to use it, great. But you still need to figure out the angle though, so you still have to use some sort of basic trig for that. But anyway, look, we need to figure out what these sides here are. How do you know the bearing is 270? Great question, Tom Pinto. Remember this at the start of the at the start of today's session, I went like this. So if you have 90 degrees, it's going to look at 90 degrees is at 3 o'clock. If you have a bearing of 180 degrees, then from north, that's going to be like this part here is 180 degrees. And then if it's 270 degrees, bearing of 270 is going to look like this, where going around 3/4 of the circle is going to be 270. Do you find the MK triangle angle first? Now, Citizen, you can do this in any particular order you want to do it. So, you know, yeah, I'll probably try and find this angle here. But before I go through the MK, I'll probably do this KL triangle first. Now, I know that looking at this angle here, I've got 126, which means this is 90 degrees. And if 126 take away 90, then this angle here is going to be 36 degrees. Hopefully you guys can see that. So then this becomes 36 degrees. Now the other part is I can also figure out what this angle here is, because that's 180 degrees on a straight line, and I could just go 180, take away 111, take away 36. Now this is going to give me 33 degrees. So that's 33 degrees. So based on that, what you need to do is you need to figure out all 4 of these things. Now, like I said to you guys at the start of this session, we are going to be covering not quadratic. We're going to be covering Pythagoras and trig. So in this case, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to work out, I'm going to put certain numbers here, and I'd like you to work out each one of these numbers. So first up, I want you to figure out what this number 1 is, then number 2, then number 3, then number 4. Those are the 4 things that you need to calculate. What I will do is I'll give you guys about 3 minutes to try and work it out, and then we'll actually go through the rest of the question. Or did you guys want me to go through it now? And I'm happy to kind of give you guys another question after this, so we can try and work it out as well. Let me know. Or unless you guys want to do this by trig by yourself. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, you guys try, because that's practicing your trigonometry. So I'll tell you what, so each of them 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to give you guys about 4 minutes so you guys can try. But once you figure out these 4 numbers, you are so close to finishing. You're like maybe about 2 steps away from finishing this excellence question. So at 8:18, I'm going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, my T. But you can, I mean, sometimes people put a 1 decimal place. You can put a 1 decimal place if you want to. See, I was always under the impression that we put it as 3 digits, but recently I've been seeing answers with like 0.1 and 0.2 and so forth. Tom and Jack, do you guys want to check whether your calculator is in degrees or radians mode, please? Because when you reset the calculator, it'll automatically go to radians. Yeah, 2.4 sounds a lot better. Yeah, Tom, that's not correct, my friend. Make sure your calculator is in degrees before you. That's a really good check for you guys as well, right? Like especially they'll ask you guys to reset your calculator. Once you reset your calculator, you need to make sure that your calculator mode is back in degrees. Otherwise, you start ending up with some really kind of weird answers. Gyananjan, that's right for 2.4. Yeah, that looks right, Vanch, on first look, because I know that it's going to be more than 270. I think 286.1 is probably the final answer. Yeah, no worries, GZ. I'm going to show that to you right now. All right. So guys, if you are wondering about your calculator and setting it to degrees, what you want to do is you want to go into main menu, you click on shift setup, and as you can see, the angle right now is in radians. We're just going to drop down and pick degrees there. All right, a real kind of good number to remember to check this is if you put sine 30, you should get 0.5. And if you don't get it to 0.5, like say for example your calculator is in radians, and if you were to do sine 30, you're not going to get 0.5. So that's how I know that it's a quick little reminder to know that your calculator is actually in the wrong mode. Alright, so I'm going to go back to degrees, make sure it's in degrees, and as you can see it's 0.5. Alright, look, let's start doing this. I've got, what do I got? I've got hypotenuse, I've got opposite, and I've got adjacent. So I'm going to use, for number 1, that's the opposite side, I'm going to use sine. So sine 33 equals opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is hypotenuse sine 33. Hypotenuse is 4.4. Sine 33 is equal to opposite. So I'm going to work it out. So 4.4 sine 33. That's giving me 2.4. I mean, you can put a 2.396 if you want to, but I'm just going to kind of just going to put it. Actually, now let's put a 2.396. And then I'm going to do cos, because that's for adjacent. So cos 33 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is h cos 33. So it's 4.4 cos 33 is for adjacent. So I'm going to go 4.4 cos 33 is 3.69. So this is 3.69. So that's for those two little, that's for the, maybe I should put some colors here. Nah, can't be bothered. Yeah, that's for this little triangle on the left hand side covered. Now we've got to do the same for the right hand side. So for the right hand side, I'm going to do the same thing. I've got opposite and adjacent. So sine 36 is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, and then hypotenuse is sine 36 is equal to opposite. Hypotenuse is 9.8 sine 36. So opposite is equal to 9.8 sine 36, and that's going to give me 5.76. Yep, 5.76. Happy with that. Then I'm going to say, so this is 5.76. Then I'm going to do cos 36 is adjacent over hypotenuse. And I'm kind of following that same steps here, guys. Nothing's different here, except that one of them is going to be cos. So then I've got 9.8. Where's my calculator? Where's my calculator? 9.8 cos 36. That gives me 7.93. I can go with 7.93. So this distance is 7.93. Okay. Now comes the part where we're going to use this information to figure out the bottom triangle, because if you look at it, the bottom triangle looks like this right now, and this is that yellow line that we're looking for. We also need to figure out what this angle here is. That's what we need to figure out. So the first step is covering the base here, and I'm sorry this is such a mess, but it kind of makes sense. So if I put down 3.69 here and 7.93, so this right here, these two pink lines, is equal to the bottom of that line. So then I can actually say the bottom of this triangle is 3.69 plus 7.93. So I'm going to put that in the calculator now and work it out what it is. So 7.93 plus 3.69, which gives me 11.62. As for the side, now the side here, I've got 5.76, and then here I've got 2.396. So I'm going to take the blue line and I'm going to minus the red line here, which is 2.396, to give me, have I got another highlighter? Yes, I do. Which is going to give me this part here. So hopefully you guys can see what's happening here. I've just tried to highlight it as much as I can. So to figure out this orange line, we're going to do 5.76 take away 2.396. So we're going to go to the calculator. We've got 5.76 take away 2.396. That's going to give me 3.364. Now we've got a Pythagoras. We're going to use Pythagoras to actually work out that yellow line, which is the hypotenuse. So that yellow line is going to be, this is ml, right? So we're going to say ml squared equals 11.62 squared plus 3.364 squared, and then ml is equal to square root of all of this. So I've got 11.62 squared plus 3.364 squared, which equals to this. So ml is equal to square root of 146.34, and then ml is equal to, we're just going to take square root of that, which gives us 12.097 kilometers. So that is the length of that yellow line, right? 12.097. Well, we still need to find the bearing, but first off we need to find out what that question mark angle is. And of course we're going to use tan because that's going to be opposite and adjacent. So we've got tan of that question mark is equal to opposite over adjacent. So the question mark is inverse tan of opposite over adjacent, or inverse tan of opposite, which is 3.364 divided by 11.62. So that question mark is going to be shift tan of 3.364 divided by 11.62, which gives us 16.15 degrees. I can put it as 16.1 degrees just for the hell of it. So bearing is going to be 270 plus 16.1 degrees, which is equal to 286.1 degrees. Now I'm sorry, that's a lot. I know I kind of just powered through that part of it. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll kind of put it up there, and I know there's like so many kind of sections that there is to this, so I might just have to go section 1, section 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, because I think if I try to write down every line, it's gonna take a while. But guys, I kid you not, bearings is one of the most easiest excellence questions that you're gonna get in geometric reasoning, like, because there you literally just have to repeat this whole thing again and again and again. Like, this is from last year's question, and if you guys don't have any questions, I can put up 2021's question, and then you guys can actually try and do it. What is it? Shania, basically draw a rectangle and split into 3 right angle triangles. Yeah, pretty much. That's the easiest one that you can do. I'm not going to be doing chance and data, unfortunately, this year. I've made a commitment to calculus, and I'm trying to do some stats papers, but just being a bit busy, man, as always. Sorry. GC, I think you could try and do yeah, I could. I mean, like, look, to be honest, I mean, I've kind of rushed through this, but normally I don't actually round off papers, round off numbers at all. I don't round off till literally the last bit right there. All right, so you guys want to do another question on your own by now, which I think you should be ready. Come on, bearings, where are you? Hold on, let me pick up another year. Serena, I think, like Serene. We're probably looking at like one decimal point for the bearings is fine, but with the kind of like distance, I try to keep 3 decimal places because it's kilometers. All right, I'm gonna pick up an old question, guys, just to bear with me. Year. All right, here we go. Next question coming up. Did it sync yet? Alright guys, so here is your next question here. So I'm actually going to give you guys a good bit of time for this question because you are going to need it. From start at STV 45 to reach A, from there 315. Yeah, you got everything that you guys need to answer this question, by the way. So what I'll do is I'm going to give you guys at least a good 6-7 minutes for this question because you do need to do pretty much everything on your own. But what I will do is I think I can't remember this week TEG 18th of October, so I guess that's 18th, that's Wednesday we do TEG. Thank you, Jeezy. I'm glad you're kind of keeping up with the live streams. Right, so 8:35 I'll give you guys the basic start if you're like still stuck with the question and like not sure how to go with this, and then at 8:38 I'll start working on it. But remember what I told you guys, you've got to actually split this into a big rectangle with 3 right angle triangles inside of it. Now if you're able to do that, then I can almost guarantee, if you get all the working right, you're almost going to guarantee an excellence grade for this. Sangwo, where have you been for the last one month? Hi, Marco. Oh, I completely forgot. Sorry, guys. My voice would have been sounding really weird. Is it better now? I didn't realize my mic was actually put on the ground. All right, so basic reset. Oh, that would suck for some of you guys that are watching just now. So sorry about it. You just have to remind me because I haven't fixed my mic kind of thing yet, so I'm kind of gonna have to move it up and down. Okay, so basic start. So we're gonna draw a little rectangle around it. So sorry about that, guys. So we're gonna draw a little rectangle. I wonder if I can actually draw a rectangle from this. it's not as accurate as I'd like it. Nah. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. Yeah, now my mic was in the ground. But anyway, so that's our first starting point here. Now it says the angle is at 315. Now, unfortunately, we've got to kind of do a little bit of tinkering with this. But for this top one, what do we have? Oh, this is interesting. So we know that this is in a bearing of 45 degrees. Now, if this is 45 degrees, we know that this is going to be 45 degrees. This is a right angle triangle, so we don't really need to worry about it. What other parts do we know? We actually know this angle here, because that's 360 take away 15, 360 take away 315. So 360 take away 315. So that's another 45 degree angle here. We can figure out this distance. And we can figure out this distance. What am I missing here? What am I missing here? Really, that's such a stupid question, because if that goes to 315, that's 45. No, we can't really tell. I'm not sure which angle you're talking about, citizen. This is from 2012. And the question is, what is it? 2B part 1 and 2. That's a bit annoying that they did this. 315, if that's going to be 45 degrees, that's going to be 45 degrees. If that's 45, that's actually 90 degrees. Sorry, I thought this question was a bit weird, because that's going to be an isosceles triangle, isn't it? That's actually going to be a 90-degree angle. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah, it's a bit... I don't think this is like a full-on bearings question. This is a lot more simpler than that. But anyway, look. Even though that diagram looks a bit weird, that's actually a 90-degree angle there, because you've got 45, 45. That's... Yeah, this is a 90-degree angle. Which means we've got a triangle that looks like this, where this is 3,100, this is 2,000, and we can actually figure it out using Pythagoras. Is that what we're doing? Adjacent over hypotenuse, which is that. Yep, that's pretty much it. Sorry guys, I actually thought this was going to be a lot harder than I thought. This is actually a lot straightforward. So in this case, I guess we just work out what so that 3,100 is hypotenuse, so we're going to go 3,100 squared minus 2,000 squared, and then square root of that is going to give us the distance that's actually here. So that's that part there. Sorry, I actually thought this would be a lot harder, but I guess it's not. So we got 3,100 squared, take away 2,000 squared. So that's going to give me 2,000. Would help if I was doing this with a pen. Equals to 2368.54. That's this distance here. So if we add up those three values, so the total length of the course would be 3,100 plus 2,000 plus 2368.54. So plus 5,100. That's going to give me 7,468.54 meters. Now, they're asking to find the bearing of T from S. So we're looking for this angle here. I guess we can still kind of use our little special triangles. Yeah, I guess we still can do it. The first part was pretty straightforward. But the second part, 49.8. So we also know this, right? So if this is 45, this is going to be a 90 degrees. This is going to be 45 degrees. So if we figure out what this angle is, bearing of T from S. So what am I gonna do? I could figure out this question mark angle, then I could figure out this one, which would then give me this angle here. So I'm gonna kind of number it up. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out angle number 1, then I'm gonna figure out angle number 2, then I'm gonna figure out angle number 3, because that angle number 3 plus 270 is gonna give me the bearing. But to figure out angle number 3, I need to figure out angle number 2. To figure out angle number 2, I've got to figure out angle number 1 first. Now angle number 1 is this right here in this little rectangle. No, triangle. What am I doing? Jeez. But then if I go cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. Oh, so they did it that way. We're doing it slightly different. Okay, that's fine. Let's try this way then. So this is going to become opposite. This is hypotenuse. So sine of angle, I'm going to call it 1 at the moment, is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So angle 1 is equal to inverse sine of opposite, which is 2000, divided by 3100. So that angle 1 is equal to inverse sine of whatever this is. So shift sine of 2000 divided by 3100. So that's going to give me 40.17 degrees. Let's go 18. So if this is 40.18 degrees, angle number 2 is equal to 90 minus 45 minus 40.18. So 90 minus 45 minus this one here, that's going to give me 4.82 degrees. So angle 2 here is 4.82 degrees. And then angle 3 is going to be 90, take away 4.82 degrees. Come on. So that's 90, take away answer. That gives me 85.18 degrees. So then bearing is 270 plus 85.18 degrees, which is going to be 355.18 degrees. Sorry guys, I kind of like jumped through it there, so looking forward to catching up with you, Joseph. Wouldn't number 3 be 90 degrees because angles on a straight line? No, because number 3 is only up to here. So this is how far number 3 is coming up to. And so you still have this little angle here, which we don't know what that is. And because we don't know what that is, we have to we can't say that number 3 is actually equal to 90 degrees. Where was that question? Marco, hopefully that helped. Oh yeah, thank you, Oliver, for picking that up. GZ, that's actually right, because if you had number 3 as 90 degrees, then you'd get a bearing of 0, because you've got 270 plus 90. Yep, that's another way you could do it as well, Serene. You could actually do alternate angles between parallel lines are equal. That's 85.182. That works as well. Yep. Then I found the angle in the corner. Which angle did you find, Vishal? Because look, I think guys, what you'll understand is that as you start doing more of these questions, you'll start finding shortcuts, and that's fine, right? Angle at S. Oh, so did you find the little angle, Vishal? Oh, yep. I see what you're trying to do. So did you actually go? Did you find this angle here? Hang on, let me just see what other colors I've got. I guess you could actually find what this angle here is. Is that what you were trying to say? Because then you can go 45, that angle minus 45. Yeah. You could do that as well. Because that would be, so 90 minus, so you would have got, Yep. I see what you're trying to do. That's another way as well. Good point. So you could have gone 90 minus 40.18 to get 49.82, and then you minus 45 from it to get 4.82, which is this tiny little angle here. Sorry, that's not gonna work out, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? So that's that little angle, and then you could do 360 minus 4.82, which will give you the bearing of 355.18. So yeah, as you guys can see, there's lots and lots of ways to do this type of question with bearings, but ultimately it's coming up with that big rectangle and then working with 3 triangles inside, and you should be good to go. Ria, if that happens, the best way to do it is like how I did question 1 today. I broke it into 3 separate triangles, calculate all the measurements, and then put all the measurements in the big rectangle, and then you should be able to solve it as well. That's another way you could do it as well. All right, these are just different ways of answering these types of bearings questions, but they generally have the same kind of expectation, right? With finding all the outside edges and then using that to kind of solve it. Right, guys. I'm gonna actually call it there at this moment because we've only got about 9 minutes, and bearings they're like they take a long time. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna call it there just so that we can have it have a bit of an early night in for today's session here. Is that little angle alternate alt angles? No, I think alternate angles would be for finding 3 with the 45 and 40.8 at the top. Imran, there is one there, and I have got one there, so you can actually have a look at it. Good luck is all I can say for you, whoever's doing the mock exam tomorrow. What do you got, Marco? What's the news? Oliver, there's 3 major questions, and then like within those 3 questions you get about 5 parts in it, 4 to 5 parts. And then what you can do is, so they get broken up into like achieve merit excellence and so on, and then there's like another grading system after that. It's a long story. AE, I don't know which exam is it. Is it TEG or is it geometric reasoning? How come you guys both have exams tomorrow? Marco, that's really awesome to hear, man. Reswift, which depends on which paper. If you're looking for TEG, just go to my main YouTube page and you're going to find all the practice exams there. They're all up there. Oh, there's quite a few of you guys got derived grade exam tomorrow. I thought you would have finished at the end of term 3. See you, Marco. Have a good one, mate. Oh, you guys are from Mount Roskill, aren't you? Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, St. Bernard's. No, that's Vishal. Oh wow, that's quite a distance away. Oh yes, sorry, I was on my list of things to do. I almost need to take like a couple of days off just to make all the exam papers. Although now that I've said this, they probably will know if I take time off. Squirrel, at the moment all I have is just the topics, but pretty much I ask on the night if anyone wants to do anything, and then I'll kind of go through it. Like today people kept asking for bearings, so that's why we kind of did bearings at the moment. Imran, there is a video on one. There's one video up there. I think if you look for 2022 numeracy, it's up there somewhere. I did make a couple of other videos, but unfortunately I had to take them down, Imran, because good old copyright images. So unfortunately I had to take it down. My aim is to do it before the external exams. Yes, I'll try, and because I mean it's literally the last time we're gonna do this exam, so that's why I'm like, do I really need to do it? But I'll tell you what, if you guys really need it, then I will see if I can find. Actually, Labor Day is a good time to try and get it done. Yeah, Vishal, because we're moving to the level 1 new standards. Theoretically should be going into next year. At least that's what I think, and I know a lot of schools are doing their own level 1 program, which means there's a very good chance that I think I just did my last MCAT tutorial, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Level 2 and level 3, yeah, I think they're staying the same for a while. I'm not sure, Rupert. You keep asking me this name, but I don't know why, but I don't think I know this person. No, it's all good, Vishal. That was I look, I did this for 6 years. I'm quite happy with MCAT the way, you know, it kind of ended abruptly in a sense where, yeah, it was kind of sad, but it's all right. It is what it is. No, I do know that about that, Shania. So it's kind of weird, right? Because like I've been doing like level 1 streams for so long, and then suddenly now with the MCAT gone next year, it's like, and of course with some schools completely scrapping level 1, I don't even know like what I'll be doing in July next year, because it'll be like, oh, what do I do now? I mean, I could always start making more resources for other things. Yeah, pretty much. And I think you're on point there, because that's what I read in the papers as well. But you know, even if I get hold of some of those, what they're planning to do, I could potentially make some resources. But of course, if everybody is doing their own thing, it just is a little bit more tricky. But in saying that, whatever the new standards are going to be for level 1, I might have to start making stuff for that. GZ, some schools have. Some schools are not doing it. Some schools are doing it. Anyway, guys, look, with that, I'm going to leave you guys. Have a good night. I will see you on Wednesday 18th. I'll see you on Wednesday. By the way, is anyone from Westlake Boys here? Because if you are, I'm looking forward to coming and visiting you on Wednesday. That should be good fun. And as I said yesterday, I've got a few giveaways ready to go. This is the latest one, which is, check this out. That should be good fun. So this is coming out to some of the kids in Westlake Boys. Oh wow, did not know that. Yeah, anyway guys, look, catch up later, have a good one, and I'll see you guys Wednesday. All right, take care, and till then, no, Citizen, you've not missed it. I'm gonna do one more. I just haven't figured out when. Just because we made to 40k, I need to do a couple of merchandise, so I'll do that. All right, till then, take care guys, catch you later, see you Wednesday, bye.